What is up, guys? Another beautiful blue-skied morning here at the Mint Hill Shoe Market. And today we are diving into a shoe which I have no idea what to expect from. It's a wild card. It's the New Balance Propel V5. It came in yesterday. New Balance is not making this a priority shoe. They're not sending it out to people. I asked them, hey, can you send it to me? Because they sent me the SC Elite V4 here. I bought the other shoes. I bought the Rebel V4 because I wanted to review it as soon as it came out. And they just kind of didn't say anything. But New Balance is great, by the way. They are sending me all the other stuff. People thought when I showed this the box in the video yesterday, they thought it was the Puma Deviate Nitro 3, which I should be getting at some point soon as well. Everyone else has gotten that already, but Puma told me they're seeding in waves, and I'm on the low priority wave. So I don't know when they send the low priority stuff, but stay tuned for that. But today we are doing the Propel V5. I have no idea what to expect. It's the lowest price shoe in New Balance's FuelCell lineup. So we have the Rebel over here on the left. That's the everyday speed training shoe. We have the SC Trainer V2, soon to be V3. That's in the middle. That's more of that long distance, fast, exciting, fun shoe. Some people like it for fast. Some people just like it for going long and slow. And of course, we have the racing shoe over here on the right. We also do have the Pacer in the collection, which is the short distance racing shoe versus the SC Elite V4, which is the long distance racing shoe. So this comes in as the most affordable option in the lineup. I never ran in the Propel V4, but there were some great deals on it throughout the last few years or few months. It was priced at $70, $60 in some places. So Propel V5, a little bit of a wild card action this morning. Let us get into it. All right, guys, New Balance Propel V5 here. A little bit of a wild card. Let's open it up. A little bit of a joker. I got this smile. All right. Oh, wow. My name. Look at that. My name was on the box. Shout out to the company which I bought this from. That's fire. So, yeah, as I said, New Balance didn't send me this because I don't think they're sending it to anyone. And what brands will do, they make some shoes, priority shoes, that they put the big marketing push behind. And some shoes, they don't. They just drop them. This one, they're not making it a priority shoe. And whenever this happens, my brain goes into two places. One, maybe they can only highlight so many shoes per year and put the marketing dollars behind so many shoes. And the other thought I have is maybe it's bad. Maybe it's bad and they don't want people to review it. So I'm hoping it's not the latter. I'm hoping it's just, hey, this is the affordable one in the lineup. We want to put our dollars behind the Rebel V4. And of course, we have the SC Trainer coming out and the Balos and the Pacer and so many great shoes. So we're not going to highlight it. But the thing is, for me, let me tell you something. Do you know how I got this addiction to daily posting? I'm a real sicko. Yeah, I'm a sicko. I've said this before. I need to review and run in every shoe. And especially if we got these delicious, tasty peaches hanging from the tree ready to be picked and no one else is running them, you best believe, you better know. It's going to be featured on the Supwell Running channel, baby. Let's get into it. Bang. A little bit of a Propel V5 action. A little bit of a woo. A little bit of a Miami Vice colorway. And look at this. This is tropical. And man, this is a shoe I was going back and forth. I even told Charlie, because I went through this period probably the last 5 years, and you can see out here, right? I bought this shoe, and this was only 6 months ago when I bought this shoe. And then I bought the Rebel V4. This was 3 months ago. And when I bought the Rebel V4, I was thinking to myself, this is not a fire colorway. This is too drab and dark. But something has changed in me. Something has awakened in me. I've become a real man. And when I saw this colorway, my first instinct was, I need to get the brightest colorway because that's what I've always done. But then I ordered it, and I kept going back to the pages on Running Warehouse and the other websites and seeing the white and black colorway, the all black colorway, the all gray colorway. And I was thinking, those are speaking to me a little bit more. I'm a man. I'm a sicko. I'm a man. I need the dark color. No, I don't know. But we have the tropical colorway here. Let me know if you guys think this is fire. Is it fire? Or have I outgrown the tropical colorways, man? I think I'm having a little bit of an identity crisis here with the Propel V5. I think it's kind of clean. It's kind of fire. The other ones would have been better for walking and stuff. This one's probably going to get wrecked. And that is the vibe I'm getting in my hands right here. And that was my other thought with why they're not highlighting it. so much and why they're not putting the big push around it, at least for the reviewers who are doing performance, which is what I do. I run in the shoes and I talk about how they perform for running. Maybe it's not designed to be a running shoe. Maybe this is more of the walking shoe in the New Balance lineup. So it feels a little bit more robust. It feels a lot heavier than SC Trainer or the Rebel in my hands. We get a lot more padding. The upper, just looking at it, it looks a little bit more like a lifestyle upper. And the FuelCell foam, I've got to say, it feels a little bit denser, though, than the Rebel FuelCell foam. It feels like maybe it will be a little bit better at absorbing impact than the Rebel foam, because that's one of the issues that people had with this Rebel. Oh, sorry, guys, I just knocked you. With this Rebel foam here is that it could feel a touch too soft and like it wasn't absorbing the poundage as much as some of these other foams do. So I'm thinking maybe, even though this is a denser, I'm guessing it's a different formulation here, and that is one of the things I like New Balance, but come on, guys. If you're going to call a foam FuelCell, give us the same compound. So FuelCell is the collection of shoes, but they also call the foam FuelCell. That's confusing. Adidas, on the other hand, they have the Audi Zero collection, and then they call the foam Light Strike Pro. So I would prefer if they used different names for the foam in the collection, but that is not what we're getting from New Balance here. So yeah, the foam does feel a little bit dense here. It's not the tallest stack. It looks, I can pull up the specs, but it looks probably around 30, a little bit higher than 30 in the back here. It does not look like it has that 10 millimeter drop vibe, which is good. And a little bit of a nice moderate rocker. Not as big of a rock and roll as the SC Trainer V3 here. So lots of padding. I'm guessing this is going to be a comfortable shoe. And look at the inside. This is where the colorway, let me brighten this up a touch. Bang. This is where the colorway really comes to life. On the inside with this yellow and the blue. Now I'm thinking this is a good looking one. But man, this is just such a wild card that I don't even know what to expect. We're just going to have to lace this up. But yeah, flexing it here. Not too flexible. It does have the plastic plate. So that's what I should mention, is the plastic plate version shoe of the New Balance line. So in the SC Trainer V2, this guy is the carbon plate, very stiff. That reinforces the rolling rock. This has a plastic plate. You can see the Rock Catcher 5000 through the middle here. And we have a very thick layer of rubber. So I'm wondering if this is going to give us some good durability. I just feel like this colorway is going to get wrecked. Let me show you guys the other colorways that I was thinking about. So this is being sold, by the way, on Running Warehouse right now. So make sure to use my link if you buy it. All right, look. So this is the black and white, not fire. But this is the one, this cloud gray, kind of clean, right? Kind of clean. It's that classic New Balance 990 colorway. And then let me show you this other one. It's not on Running Warehouse. I think it was on New Balance's website. Yeah, bang. Look at this one. Look at this one. That is super clean. That is super clean. So we don't have this super clean one. They also have an all white, I think. Yeah, so they're coming with the heat in the Propel. So that's what's making me wonder, is this more of a almost like an Ultra Boost kind of shoe where you can wear it for some drip and then you can also run it in it? Is it more of an elevated Pegasus? How will this compete with those $140 shoes? From the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be comfortable. We got a nice bit of a structure out in the back here, not too much. A nice little bit of a wider base. I don't think it's the widest in the world. Let's compare it to the Rebel. Similar. Really similar, but with a lot more built up. It's giving me that vibe of a beginner shoe that's going to have a little bit of fun. So that's the frame I'm going to take with this guy, $120, which undercuts pretty much every daily trainer out there. The Adidas Audi Zero SL2 is now $130, and unless you start going to that $100 price point and below with the Windflows of the world and some of those drop-down shoes like the Supernova Stride, this is the cheapest daily trainer you can get, and we're getting that plastic plate. So can we get a little bit of fun from this shoe? That would be nice. And rubber here, good rubber coverage. It looks a little bit like a different compound, though, is the thing. And I'm sure this FuelCell is a different compound than what we're getting in the Rebel and the SC Trainer V2. And let me just read New Balance's description because I have such a little idea of what to expect. Let's just read it. Designed with comfort and energy return top of mind, This versatile running shoe is crafted for runners of all styles. Okay, that tells me literally nothing about what I should expect. They want it to be comfortable and versatile. That's every daily trainer out there. If you could say the reverse of a shoe and it would be preposterous, the shoe is designed to be uncomfortable and specialized, then it tells me nothing about the shoe. So Propel V5 looks clean. Let's throw it on the scale, see where it comes in from weight, and then we can just lace it up and go. And as I'm continuing to look at it, I'm happy with my colorway choice. I'm not fully ready to transition into monochromatic dad mode. So I think because I'm rocking the black Viore shorts every day with the black Viore polo or shirt, I think this is that little extra pop of color we're going to get. That's going to be nice. That's going to be nice for sure. All right, let's throw this on the scale. Hold on, one more thing I'm noticing before we pop it on the scale. They do wrap the plastic plate on the outside of the shoe. They wrap it up a little bit. So that should add a little bit more stability on the sides here. And yeah, this is a clean looking shoe. So even if this isn't the best for running, I will definitely be rocking this around because it looks pretty fire. It's the Tropical Smoothie 5000, baby. Let's go. All right, weighing the left shoe of the Propel. This is coming in at 299 grams. That is bang on average for a daily trainer. So I don't have a bunch of daily trainers out here, but the Pegasus of the world, the Pegasi of the world, Supernova Rise of the world, those are around 300. The A6 Nova Blast, that's about 280 something. I think the 880 V14 is a little bit heavier than this. So pretty average, pretty standard. But if we look at the other New Balance FuelCell shoes, so Rebel is the faster, lighter weight one. This comes in significantly lighter. This is 223 grams, but this is designed a little bit more to be aggressive, not as versatile. This is not a super versatile shoe. It is more of a specialized tool. And you can see even with the uppers of these guys, look how much padding we get and how much additional comfort we have baked into the shoe here on the Propel versus the Rebel. So hopefully that comes through in the ride experience as well. But Rebel is a comfortable shoe if you're looking for a lightweight shoe. But if someone came to me asking, hey, can I have a comfortable shoe recommendation? That would not be my first choice. The Rebel, I would go 1080, even Supernova Rise, SL2, Nike Invincible 3, those more padded, higher stack shoes. That's not what the Rebel is about. SC Trainer V2 here, also a very comfortable shoe, 290. So a little bit lighter weight. Both of these are size 10.5. Again, upper materials here, a little bit more padding. In the Propel, the tongue is a little bit more padded than the SC Trainer V2. Keep in mind we have the V3 coming out in about, 2 or 3 weeks. So depending on when you're watching this video, we might have the first run of this out. But if you're watching it today or tomorrow, that's not the case because that's not how time works. If you're watching it today, you have to wait. I'm a real sicko. And then, yeah, I'm guessing we have a little bit of a denser foam here in the FuelCell and the Propel, and also tons of rubber in the Propel, especially versus the SC Trainer V2. This is one of the weak points of the shoe, actually, the SC Trainer V2, the durability. Some people did not get a ton of miles out of this. My guy, Vinny B, shout out to Vinny B, putting in the work up there in New York. He got 450 M's. 450 M's out of the SC Trainer V2. And now let's put on the racing shoe. This one is a size 11, so a little bit bigger, coming in at a 269. I don't know, I said A. Just coming in at 270, bro. If it were in a size 10.5, this one would likely be about a 260 or something. So, of course, this is going to be lighter than the training shoe, lighter than the other training shoe, not as light as the super low lightweight Rebel. So what you're getting out of the racing one here is you get a ton of foam, you get a carbon plate. It actually is pretty comfortable. This might be the first or second most comfortable racing shoe. If I had to pick one of the marathon racing shoes to wear around all day, I might go this or the Diodora Gara. Saucony Endorphin Pro 4 is also very comfortable, but this stability is way better. So yeah, if I had to pick one shoe, if I really wanted to drop $250 on a running shoe to wear casually, I mean, this might be it. Flexing. This is a big flex. I might need to just start wearing this to school pickup. I'm the fastest kindergarten dad out there, bro. Put some respect on my parenting. All right. It's just evolving into I don't know what. But let's throw the right Propel on the scale here. Little QA check, 300.5 or 301.5 grams. So I weigh both shoes always to do a little bit of a quality assurance. Do these brands send out equally weighted shoes from the factory? Some brands do, some brands do not. You'd be surprised. And it doesn't, 5, 10, even 15 grams difference between the shoes is not going to make a huge difference. You're not going to get injured or something just because the shoes have a little bit of a weight difference. But it does tell me, hey, if there's a 20 gram difference between the shoes, what else is going on behind the scenes that we might not be aware of? So nice job, New Balance. They're one of the best brands for this whatever weird check we're doing here. These guys, Asics, I'm trying to think of some others. I think the recent Nike shoes have been good as well. So shout out to New Balance. They're always pumping out quality. New Balance is one of my favorite brands. They've only had one shoe that's been a miss for me. We don't even need to say the number. 880. I'll tell you the numbers. 880 was horrible. So that's one of the other questions. With the 860 V14 being a shoe that came into the office recently that I really loved, that's in the Fresh Foam lineup, so more of that comfortable everyday lineup versus FuelCell. This is supposed to be the fast lineup. How do those two shoes compare? And maybe I'll have to do a head-to-head video between them. Want to keep it tight today? You probably are laughing because I don't even know how long this video is going to be. It's probably like 57 minutes. You're like, you keeping it tight today, bro? But yeah, we're going to just spotlight this guy. Let's get it on foot, do a little fit and feel test, see how it is for walking around, because I think, just based on the looks, I think a lot of people are going to be buying this for walking because it looks pretty fresh. Boom. Little alley-oop, little putback. That was an offensive rebound right there. Shout out to Drew Holiday. Yeah, I'm always shouting out Kobe, but what about the hard workers out there who just get those offensive boards off the glass or diving for the loose balls? Like Derek White. Oh, I have my Celtics championship hoodie coming in. I'm so excited, man. All right. First little step in here to the Propel. It feels a little snug. Weirdly. We'll see how that evolves. But, yeah, that's weird. It's a 10.5, but it feels snug. I actually have the 860 in a size 10 because that's what New Balance sends me. They refuse to send me a size 10.5. They'll either send me a 10 or an 11. I don't know. It's weird. But Propel V5 here, in the size 10.5, my normal size. Underfoot feel, just straight up stepping in, not super soft and squishy. There's some shoes where I step into them, like the Nike Invincible 3 or the New Balance 1080, and I can feel right away, wow, this is going to be a soft shoe. That's not the case here. And FuelCell traditionally has been a soft foam. Look at this. Very soft. In the Rebel, almost too soft for some people. Same thing as the SC Trainer, both the V1 and the V2. I think they might have even made it a little bit softer. But Propel here, yeah, I'm not getting a lot of soft squish. Let me just lace up the Rebel real quick. We're going to have to do, you already know, just so we can get a little bit of difference between the foam on step-in. Yeah, way more flexible in the Rebel without the plate and just a softer step-in feel. And one thing with the step-in, the plate doesn't necessarily make a firmer step-in feel. It's there, but the compression comes from the foam. So this foam here, let's see if we can get a little bit of a side view. Doesn't feel like it's compressing that much. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit in the back. Let's do a tiny bit of a walk test here. A little walk test. Propel versus Rebel. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, man, this is nice. Yeah, I'm higher up for sure in the Propel. It is not as flexible because of the plate, but my heel does get a nice little bit of cushion. I think we're going to have to do a little quick jog test between these two as well. Yeah, as I'm walking down to the street here, I can tell you the Propel, I don't know if it's shortness, but I think it's with what they did to the toe cap makes it fit snugger. Yeah, the tip of my toe is all the way up here. And if you watch the SL2 versus Supernova Rise video, you could, in the SL2 and the Rise, my toe came up to here. And even in the Rebel, my toe comes up to right here. I have a little bit more room. So I don't know. You might, something with the structured, I have the other shoe right here. Something they did with how structured this toe cap is. Yeah, can you see that? There's a little plastic piece that I can push in. The fit is a little odd in the front. And they've rounded it off a little bit more compared to the Rebel is a touch more pointed and just more flexible in general. So this might be a go up a half a size situation. We'll see. Just hold tight on that. After we do the full run, I'll let you know. Or I won't. I might forget. If I forget to say it, I'll put a note up in the corner here. But I don't think I'm going to forget because now I'm talking about it. That's good. All right, quick Guy Raz flow right here. You ready? All right, this quick jog test is brought to you by our friends at Vuori. Vuori, the comfiest swag in the game. Right now, you can get 20% off your Vuori gear with the URL vuori.com/hobbyjogger, which you can find in the description below. In my everyday life, I use the Vuori Core 5-inch shorts. I put them on after my morning run, and I run my afternoon miles in them. They are comfortable, lightweight, and a great addition to your summer running rotation. Hey, hit them with the Guy Raz flow, bro. You know, man, educate yourself. You don't even know who Guy Raz is. All right, Vuori, you already know. They're coming with the heat. They're supporting the channel. You can support the channel by getting your swag. Link below. But quick jog test. New Balance Rebel V4 versus the Propel V5. Let's do it. Yeah, just in that short head-to-head here, I was impressed by the Propel. It has more of that comfort daily trainer vibe. It does have a little bit of a good impact absorption in the heel, at least compared to the Rebel. So this might be one of those new heel striker low-key sleeper picks at 120. So let's lace this other guy up, man. I am just loving this colorway now. Can you see it? Bang, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's lace these things up. Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit more cushioned. I'm not sure about the bounciness. That's what we're going to check for out there on the run. So comfort and versatility. Those are the two things that they highlighted in their anti-Orwellian nonsense description on the New Balance website. But comfort and versatility. So they want this to be a daily trainer. They want this to be a shoe you could pull for theoretically for any run. And they said any style of runner. So what they mean by that is you don't have to run a ton of miles to run in this. Usually when brands say that, it's a beginner shoe. And that's what the vibe I'm getting from this. But the upper does feel nice. Yeah, it's definitely snug. But I'm liking the feel of the upper, especially for $120. It does not feel cheap. If anything, it feels a little bit too sturdy. And I think if you handed somebody these two shoes, it's almost the upper, the Propel V5 feels a little bit better made because there's more to it. Now that means it's going to be thicker and probably not as breathable for these summer miles. It is getting quite warm out here today. We're a little bit late on our miles right now, so we're going to be suffering in the heat a little bit, but I think this is going to be my only run of the day, so it's okay. We can just suffer now and then, I don't know, recover later. All right, so plan for this run. We got to get our miles in. We got to get 10 this morning. So 10 miles, this is going to be a great test of the Propel. This is my normal everyday run length. We're going to do 10. I don't think I'm going to pick up the pace all that much. Just nice, smooth run, probably recovery zone for some of it, especially because it's so hot out here. And I'm coming off 40 miles in the past 2 days. I did 24 on Tuesday and then 16 on Wednesday. So this is just some mileage. Get out there, have fun, enjoy this beautiful Miami Vice colorway and this beautiful Carolina day. I mean, look at this thing. Bang, let's do it, guys. Man, the Hawks are out to play past few days. So far, just jogging this out in the beginning feels like a little bit of a lower stack SC trainer. I get that same bounce. I don't have as much of that aggressive roll, but solid impact absorption and stability. And in terms of heel clunkers like me, the shoe is serving pretty well its purpose. And that was my issue with the Neo Vista. For this type of a relaxed pace, I couldn't hang back on the heels, which is how I typically run my daily miles unless I'm doing a workout. Neo Vista literally had a cutout on the heel, so you couldn't land back there. So this one seems like it might be a sleeper heel striker, affordable daily trainer / workout shoe. And the bounce is solid too. I wish there was some more objective way to measure bounce, but it feels bouncier than the Rebel at this relaxed pace. Rebel isn't really the bounciest shoe in the world. My one concern with the shoe though is going to be the durability of the foam and how much this bounce lasts. That is really the one downfall of the New Balance FuelCell shoes. But yeah, so far, very stable, comfortable, and bouncy. The stability here is great. So we'll do our cornering test, but again, heel striking and stability, those are the two things that are really shining through here. If you hang back on the heels for your daily miles or need stability, this is looking like it could be a good one. And man, this is now the straightaway where sometimes where I can tell if we're feeling good or not. The legs are feeling decent, but I don't think I want to hammer any tough pace today. But for this little marathon pace pickup here, yeah, decent bounce. Man, for 120, this isn't bad. Yeah, the initial overreaction, half mile in. You want to hear it? I'm like Bill Simmons, the early season overreaction. Initial overreaction, a more built up Speed 3. It has the bounciness, it has the plastic plate, more rubber, a more aggressively padded upper. But yeah, this is giving me Speed 3 vibes a little bit. More stability though. And $120. Fire. Man, absolute fire. Right, I'll hit you with an update in a bit. We gotta see if these shoes are really gonna hold up through this run though. All right, mile 1, Blue Flowers. Again, coming off 40 miles of running the past 2 days. And I just banged that first mile at a 7:35. The shoe is giving me a ton of bounce. It's wild. It's putting a smile on my face. Here's the thing, people now are calling me the contrarian. The contrarian shoe reviewer. No, I don't know. People are calling me the contrarian. I just like finding shoes that I like, and I put a smile on my face. The Mizuno Neo Vista, that did not put a smile on my face like this, especially for 180. And this is the thing that I do believe. People that call me biased too. That's the other thing. I was biased against the Mizuno. I am biased against overpriced shoes. That's what I'm biased against. So what does a bias mean? Let's break it down. Let's break it down. A bias is essentially, we're gonna think something when we hear something. So my bias is that when I hear $180 price point or $200 price point, I am biased to believe a shoe will be great. The Mizuno for 180 was okay. It was okay. A little bit of a mess at times with how things came together and not what I was expecting. This shoe for 120, I'm biased before I run in it to think that it's gonna be average or below average. Or even a bad shoe that people might not want to buy. And that's why New Balance didn't want to send it out to everyone as soon as it dropped. Maybe they'll do that later this year, I don't know. So when I run in a $120 shoe and it puts a smile on my face, you want to know how I got this smile? I'm biased. My biases are shattered because that $120 shoe performed better than the $180 shoe, at least out of the box, for what I was thinking, what I was biased to believe. And with the Neo Vista, we will revisit that. But for a plated shoe to just cruise in comfort, right now, this is what I'm looking for. Comfortable, easy to run in, a nice squish with some bounce and release, and it just goes. I don't have to think about how I'm landing or what's on my foot. From the top, these kind of look like what I would wear if I lived in a nursing home and they were serving cotton candy. Pull up with those FuelCell orthotic 7s. So we're cruising into mile 2 here. I was initially planning to do a relaxed 10 miler, but because the shoe is giving me so much bounce, I think I'm gonna throw in some faster miles. I wasn't gonna do a workout today just because I'm not quite feeling it, but we're gonna let it fly, see how it goes. I'm not sure when I'm gonna run in this shoe again, so we gotta put it through some sort of a pace test. So Thursdays I've been doing the Pentagon workout. That's 5 miles at lactate threshold. I don't know if I want to bang all 5 today, but I will aim to just get 1. We'll take it from there. So as soon as my watch beeps, we're gonna start gliding. But yeah, so far, man, I am impressed. If you put this on my feet, there we go, 722, man, without even trying. Okay, we're gonna try to drop it down to 6 something here. But if you put this on my feet and told me this were the SC Trainer V3, I would be happy. All right, not the most aggressive toe roll here as I'm getting down to some lactate threshold pace zone. So that seems to be the one demerit so far. It almost wants me to land farther back. But the bounciness is still there as I'm serving in the low 6s right now. All right, see you on the other side of this. Woo! Ah, it's a scorcher. All right, mile 1, 6:11 pace. Well, mile 1 of the repeats. That's up there for that first mile in terms of pace and feel. With the SL2, the Rebel, which we put through this workout. And I've been slamming this same workout over and over and over again to hammer in this lactate threshold piece, so I know what it feels like to run. Do you want to know how I raise my lactate threshold? Yeah, this is giving me This is giving me not a speed training shoe, but a daily trainer that can handle some faster pace, because as I pick it up there, it doesn't have the most bite up front. It wants me to land a little bit more flat-footed, not necessarily popping off the toe. On this recovery pace here, very comfortable, nice and smooth ride, but not the most aggressive roll forward. And the upper isn't the most streamlined race fitting feel, but the midsole foam here is great, nice and bouncy. I think the plastic plate does a great job at stabilizing without coming through as too harsh or aggressive. So I'm gonna recover down this hill here, and then we're gonna pop another one, see if we can go sub 6, and then I might call it a day. I don't know, probably do 2 or 3, make it a triangle, not the full pentagon. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna pop one more, see how these do for some consistent poundage. I feel recovered though, so let's just pop it right here. See you on the other side. All right, mile 2 of pace. Whew, that was a 5:53. So we went sub 6 with some downhill assist. And man, it is hard to run sub 6 miles in this neighborhood over the hills with the heat, but we're getting it done. Yeah, as we're getting deeper into these pace miles in the Propel V5, that comfort quotient is taken over. Very comfortable shoe. This is for sure the comfortable one in the FuelCell range. Way more comfortable underfoot than the Rebel. It's just less aggressive than the SE Trainer V2, and the foam feels a little bit denser than the FuelCell and the SE Trainer V2 as well. Now we'll have to see how the foam does in the V3 and how that compares to this, but I'm thinking that one's going to be a little bit more aggressive, taller stack than this, and probably do better for longer runs. But if we're thinking about the price point so far, man, this is good value, especially if it's targeting beginner runners. And I just ran 4 miles right now, which is what a lot of newer runners are going to be doing, 30-minute runs. This thing is a beast for that. And we're going to push it to see how it can do for 10 miles today. But yeah, not the fastest shoe in the world, but so far I'm impressed by its speed capability. It's a nice mix of comfort and speed. All right, we gotta bang one more of these things. At least, I'm not really feeling it, but we're gonna do it. Nice little downhill assist into flat. Mile 3 of the triangle today. Let's get it. Shout out to Menendez Landscaping, putting in the work. Let's go. All right, that was rep 3. 5:57 pace. And we're gonna call it on the pace. No more pace. That's how I've been liking to run my workouts recently. Just until they don't feel effective anymore, just cap them. So we capped that at 3 miles. With each preceding mile, the shoe started to feel more comfortable and less
speedy. So by the end, I just kind of wanted to hang back. And so I think this shoe is going to be a nice versatile pick, like they said, but definitely is leaning more to the comfortable side with the ability to occasionally do some speed. I don't think I would buy this as my one speed training shoe, but I want to see how it does for the rest of this run, because we're going to get over an hour. This is a good test for that marathon or half marathon training comfort. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So we're taking this big hill now, and I'm a little bit more on my toes because we just did that pace. So my fast running form is more activated, and I'm not sure this is going to be the pick for forefoot strikers in general, especially if you like a higher stack feeling. This shoe just feels better hanging back midfoot and rear foot. That's where all the foam is. There's not a giant rocker on the front to tip you forward, and there's just not an aggressive and poppy feeling when landing at the front, which is why I didn't love it for the lactate threshold. The geometry and the aggressive curve geometry, that's going to be what we get out of the SC Trainer V3 with the carbon plate for probably even more of an aggressive feel. But the comfort in here for hanging back and for plodding along for 120, great value, really comfortable. Forgot to do my cliche cul-de-sac cornering test, but this is very stable. Great at cornering, nice and nimble. Doesn't feel like there's too much foam to effectively drive the boat here, but it does have a little bit of that boat-like FuelCell feeling. A lot of these FuelCell shoes right now, they have these wider bases, and this foam is like, it's like that air suspension feeling I was talking about with the Neo Vista. Now this one isn't nearly as cushioned as the Neo Vista, and that is going to be a big difference between this and a lot of the $160+ shoes, the forefoot cushion. But yeah, banging this little Larry right here, great stability and great cornering. An hour here, and after we finish those reps, I was waiting to give an update till an hour because I was thinking the shoe is feeling a little bit thin in the forefoot, but as I've recovered from those reps and I'm just bopping along here, it actually feels solid. Because it has that plastic plate, it's not going to be, yeah, these plastic plated shoes, I think, especially for bigger runners, if you're putting down more power, probably not going to be ideal for going much past an hour all the time. But for shorter distances and for lighter touch runners, I think this is going to be a really versatile shoe. Nice JK Jeep. We get the shoes, we run in them, and then we drop every day. It's simple. We see the shoes come out, we buy them, we put the miles in, and we put numbers up on the board. That's what we do. That's what we do out here in Mint Hill. Let's go. Let's go. Get in with me. Man, all summer, all year, we are dropping. This is our year. Hobby joggers to the moon, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Propel V5 is like the SL2. More value, more fun, more bounce. Let them sleep. Let them sleep. Let them sleep. We're going to keep getting the shoes and keep putting the miles in. Let's go, baby. Oh, bro, that's the mountain boss. We gotta turn this off. All right, I think I'm safe. You wanna be a boss? You gotta pay the price. Video title, all caps. Why is New Balance hiding the Propel V5? The real reason New Balance doesn't want you to run in the Propel V5, the secret New Balance FuelCell shoe nobody wants you to know about. The shoe's so cheap that there must be child labor going on. Propel V5. Banger. Banger. How many would we get, guys? 10 miles, 7:18 pace, 1 hour, 13 minutes, 23 seconds. Banger. Banger. These are the, look at this, Country Club 17s. Bang. The New Balance Orthotic V6. Bang. The Miami, I'm going to Miami, and I got to pull up with a comfortable shoe V12. Bang. Don't get, here, there's a lot of bangers. Guys, listen up. There's a lot of bangers. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me for how many bangers there are and that you got to empty your bank account. You don't got to empty your bank account. Don't get mad at me, though. You can get mad at Joe Preston. It's Joe Preston's fault that there's so many bangers. It's not my fault. The New Balance ice cream truck V19. The New Balance millennial inspired Crayola packet V21. The New Balance pull up to the bodega and get some Mike and Ike's V36. That's what I'm feeling from these. Man, somebody the other day said I lost my credibility. Somebody named Julie. You lost all credibility from the Mizuno review I did. Well, I really hope this review will gain my credibility. I worked hard, man. I worked hard to gain my credibility. Ivy League undergraduate degree, the Duke MBA, and then there's always a Julie or a Maureen coming my way trying to take away my credit. Why is that? Why is that? Seems there's a trend there. I can't quite figure it out. Why is that? A banger, man. Let's go do this. Let's go do this breakdown. Enough talk. We gotta hydrate, man. It is hot. Get those electrolytes in. Get those fluids in. But another banger of a beautiful day out here, too. Banger. Banger. All right, guys, 10 miles in the New Balance Propel V5. It's soft, it's bouncy, it's smooth, it's comfortable. It's a banger. It's everything that you could want in a daily trainer, especially in a beginner shoe. And at this $120 price point, great value. So main questions to answer, because I know people are gonna ask, is it as bouncy? Is it as protective as something like the SC Trainer V2? Is it as explosive as something like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3? Is it as streamlined and connected feeling as the Adidas Adizero SL2? No, it's not as amped up as any of those, but it's a really nice in-between type of shoe that combines elements of speed, of comfort, and of long distance capability into one package. So as we were out there, we first got into those faster reps, those 1 mile lactate threshold reps. It handled it really well, but as we were getting deeper into those miles, I felt that I wasn't getting as much pop off the forefoot as I would expect from a shoe with the FuelCell, or as I would want from a speed training shoe. That's likely because if you look up here, it's not the most aggressive rocker geometry. It is a little bit of a flatter platform, and it doesn't have that super curved toe that really lets you build up some power and pop off the front here. So not as aggressive up here, and as we were getting deeper into those miles, I felt that the comfort capability was taking over. I call it the comfort quotient out there. I felt that was taking over a little bit more over the speed. So it is bouncy, but it leans a little bit more towards that comfort style bounce versus the speed bounce. So is this gonna be as fast as something like the Rebel if you want a very stripped down feeling? Probably not, but at slower paces, the additional foam, I'm not even sure if it's an additional foam, but it feels like a lot more foam back here. That really comes through. And then the bounce and pep at slower paces, that comes through versus the Rebel as well. So a little bit more of a comfort-oriented shoe, probably the most comfortable of the FuelCell shoes that I've tried this year. We'll have to wait and see on the SC Trainer V3. The other thing I wanted to mention though is as we were getting deeper into that run, right after I finished the 3 mile reps, I felt that the shoe was losing a little bit of the bite and a little bit of that comfort feeling in the forefoot, but that was just because I was tired. So as I recovered, probably got toward an hour and 5 minutes, and right around that hour mark, right after I flipped off the camera and did the breakdown out there, I started building some of my power back. The shoe started feeling better. So similar to a shoe like the Pegasus, it's gonna respond based on how you're feeling. So if you're feeling like you wanna put down some power, the shoe will respond. That's what it did for me today. It's not as assisted of a shoe as the ST Trainer V2, as the Boston 12, as the Skyward X. So for 120 though, compared to something like the Pegasus, first run, I would take this 10 out of 10 days out of the week. Compared to the 880, compared to any of those mediocre $140 shoes, I would take this. This is a solid shoe for everyday miles if you want a little bit of fun and comfort. The real question is going to be, how does it compare to a little bit more expensive shoes, and how does it compare to the other shoes in the New Balance lineup, especially the Balos and the SC Trainer V3, which are coming out this year. So my prediction is that the V3, the SC Trainer V3, that's going to have a more cushioned, more protective feeling, and there's going to be no question, or there should be no question, that that one feels better than this for those longer miles. But for $120, I mean, look at the softness that we're getting out of this foam. You can see I can push this really far, really deep in, and the comfort here is amazing. I do think you're gonna have to size up maybe a half a size, or I would just try to get this on your foot, order from my link on Running Warehouse, because it did feel a little bit snug compared to some other New Balance shoes, but the upper is comfortable. I didn't feel like it was heating up too much out here today, but I also wasn't really paying too much attention to that, so that's something I'll monitor. Maybe I'll do another run in it later. I'll just monitor that and let you know next time. But today I didn't feel, it wasn't noticeably warm, but it is a little bit of a thicker upper. But very comfortable shoe, nice and bouncy, lots of rubber coverage. We didn't have any wet patches out here today, but with how much rubber we have here, this should be a nice and durable shoe. My question though is going to be, especially because there were some doubts out there around that mile 6, mile 7 mark about how the foam felt, I do have some questions around how this FuelCell is going to hold up once we get past 2 hours and once we get past 50 or 100 miles on the shoe. So stay tuned for more testing. We'll put this guy through a 20+ mile double day. I might double in it today, I'm not sure, but even if I do, we're not going to get past 20 in it today. So stay tuned, TBD on that one. Other things we should mention though, stability was great. That's one of the top characteristics of the shoe. If I had to give it in a few words, stable, bouncy, smooth. Not the fastest, but a very smooth ride, especially for landing out in the back here. And with this plastic plate, the way that they've wrapped it, you can see this white piece here. Or grandma whipping in the Beamer. But you can see this white piece right here. That is the plastic plate wrapping up, adding some stability. It does a great job, and the plate wasn't too noticeable. It wasn't too harsh, it wasn't too aggressive, and at the same time, it wasn't adding a ton of pop and snap. You can see it is a decently flexible plate here. There's lots of shoes without plates that are harder to flex than this, so it's not adding a ton of anything here, but I do think that plate is probably what's making the shoe not completely bottom out towards the end of the run. So nice job, New Balance, with the midsole here. Midsole is great, lots of rubber, comfortable upper, maybe a little bit short. I'm impressed. For $120, this is gonna go up there with the SL2 probably as one of the best value shoes of the year. I don't expect much from these entry-level shoes, and this punches well above its weight. And with how many competitive shoes we have now at $140 and below, the Nova Blast, this shoe, the SL2, that's why I'm so hard on the $180 and $200 shoes. And it's really hard for me to recommend those shoes when there's so many shoes that do 90, 95%, 99% of what I could get out of those shoes at half of the price. And so there has to be something really special about a $200, $220, even a $180 shoe that makes me recommend it. That's why I was hard on the Mizuno Neo Vista. I wasn't getting anything out of that shoe that I couldn't have gotten for a shoe $150 or below. This shoe is just as soft, just as bouncy. There's nowhere near as much protection in the forefoot, of course, as something like the Mizuno Neo Vista. So that is going to be the trade-off with getting something like this. But for most runners out there, if you're looking for a daily trainer to go up to an hour, to go up to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, plus use for walking, pulling up to the country club or pulling up to Brickell in Miami, then look at this. Bang. This is all you need. And that is exactly my point. We got a Benz coming through. That's exactly my point with reviewing these shoes. I'm trying to find the best buys. I'm trying to find the best value shoes. I'm trying to, why would you pay $200?
when you could pay $120. That's what I'm saying. You're getting the tech that those more expensive shoes have here. You're getting the plate, you're getting a good foam. You're getting most of what those more expensive shoes have, and I think most people would probably prefer something like this over the Boston 12. It's easy to run in. It's not harsh. It doesn't make me alter my form at all. I could bop along. And you saw today, I stress tested the shoe. I took it to 10 miles. Not every runner out there is even going to be hitting 10-mile long runs. And I took it down to multiple sub 6-minute miles. Not every runner is even going to be doing that. So I stretched this to, for a beginner running shoe, probably 5% of the people who buy this will be taking it to sub 6-minute paces and up to 10-mile runs. And it performed great for that. So that's really, man, that's the purpose of this channel, man. I'm trying to find good value. I'm trying to find the best shoes for everyone, lower the barriers to entry. You don't need the $200 shoe. You can do it with the $120. If that makes me a contrarian to say you don't need to spend more money to get a good shoe, then so be it. I'll take the contrarian label. I'll take the bias label, baby. The only label I really care about is this one on the hat, though. So I'm fired up now, man. Let's find some good value. Let's just get out here and get some miles. That's what it's all about. You can do it in the Propel V5. I showed you earlier this year. You could do it in a shoe that's 5 years old and sitting in your closet. I wouldn't recommend it because I might have given myself plantar, but it is, and that's the thing. It's nice to get a new shoe sometimes, and for $120, you can get a new shoe like this that gives you almost the same thing you're getting from a $200+ shoe. Now, last thing I'll say about this, I'm not saying you don't need to buy shoes. I'm not making anyone feel bad for buying shoes. I like the tech as well. I like the cool, expensive stuff as well, but you don't need it. All you need is something to make you feel comfortable for cruising, so crushing out some miles. And so far, this guy's a great pick. We might have to hit him with the double, man. I don't know. That might be a little exclamation point, a little slammer at the end of this run, but if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. This was a fun one. He got another banger, man. Don't blame me. Blame Joe Preston. It's Joe Preston's fault. There's so many bangers, man. Go ahead and email Joe Preston. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, one more thing. Exclamation point. We had to hit the double real quick. So that's 16 miles on the day in the Propel V5. Average 7:48 pace. Certified banger is all I can say about these. This is speed 3 levels of bounce and pop in a more daily trainer package. This is going to be a good one. But one thing I wanted to show you is look at these from the top. Maybe this is why New Balance didn't want to send these out to everybody. Just look at these from the top. Flywire, same exact view, same tongue, same padding. I think we might have a copyright case on our hands here. Nike versus New Balance. Ooh, this is the Pegasus 39, by the way. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Certified banger.